The Miami Dolphins have officially hit rock bottom. What happened in Carolina was nothing short of embarrassing. Up 17-0 early, dominating every inch of the field, and then collapse. Absolute collapse. The Panthers outscored Miami 27-7 in the final 44 minutes. That's not just a loss, that's a humiliation. Mike McDaniel, Chris Greer, at this point, their seats shouldn't just be warm, they should be on fire. How can a team this talented look so lifeless, so unprepared, so undisciplined? Jalen Waddle was one of the few bright spots today, but one man can't carry an entire franchise. And honestly, Dolphins fans, I'm done. I've reached my breaking point. No more excuses. No more pretending. This team is wasting talent and wasting time. And hey, if you're just as passionate about this team as I am, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with your friends. And of course, hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Now, back to the nightmare. This defense, a disaster. Chris Greer built a unit that couldn't stop a college offense today. 239 rushing yards. Yes, 239. That's not NFL defense. That's a bad joke. And the offensive line? Somehow even worse. No protection, no push, no pride. It's the same story every week, and it starts at the top. McDaniel and Greer have turned this roster into chaos. Until they're gone, the Dolphins will never be a serious football team. They need to go, period. What do you think, Dolphins fans? Should the team finally fire Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer? If you're with me, type me in the comments. Because at this point, it's obvious, until they're gone, there's no hope for this team moving forward. You let Rico Dowdle, yes, Rico Dowdle, run for 26 yards, averaging nearly 9 per carry. On his very first touch of the second half, he ripped off a 54-yard run like it was nothing. And right after Miami took back the lead, 24-20 in the fourth quarter, Dowdle exploded again, this time for 40 yards. Then there's Bryce Young, a quarterback who has struggled all season and played awful today. He literally handed Miami 2 turnovers, one fumble gift wrap to Bradley Chubb, and another wild throw that landed right in the hands of Minkah Fitzpatrick. And somehow, he still came back and outscored the Dolphins 27-7 the rest of the way. I don't even know how to explain this anymore. It's beyond words. This team, this coaching staff, this entire front office, it's all an embarrassment right now. The Dolphins look lost, confused, and beaten from the inside out. Until Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer are gone, this team will never be taken seriously. Period. And honestly, how can Stephen Ross sit back and watch this disaster unfold every single week? How can he not see the problem? It's not just a bad game. It's a pattern, a mindset, a complete collapse of leadership. At this point, it's not even funny. It's a joke, a cruel one. And yes, we'll dive even deeper into McDaniel's play calling and those ridiculous offensive line decisions in the next section, because what's happening on that side of the ball might be even more frustrating than what we saw on defense. Let's talk about Tua Tagovailoa, because even in this disaster, he deserves credit. Under 2 minutes left, down by 3. Yeah, he couldn't get Miami into field goal range, and that stings. But let's be real, this one isn't on him. Tua actually played solid football. A 122 passer rating, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. He gave this team everything he could. But once again, he had zero help. And that's the story of this franchise. Every time Tua steps up, the rest of the roster drags him right back down. The blame, once again, points straight at Chris Greer and how this team was built. No balance. No power in the run game. Devon Achane had just 16 rushing yards, and that's not on him. He had nowhere to go. No blocking, no space, nothing. When your offensive line opens up air instead of holes, no running back in the league can save you. Miami finished the day with 19 rushing yards on 14 carries. Meanwhile, the Panthers pounded the ball for 239 rushing yards. That's not a small difference. That's a complete and total domination. It's embarrassing, and it exposes everything wrong with this team's construction. You can't win football games when you get bullied like that up front. And yet, the Dolphins keep doing the same thing week after week, expecting something to change. Until the people making the decisions are held accountable, nothing will. The Carolina Panthers outgained the Dolphins on the ground by over 220 yards. 220. You will never, and I mean never, When a football game, when you get outrushed by that much. It's almost impossible to lose like that in the NFL, but somehow, Miami found a way. And it all starts with the offensive line, absolutely atrocious. Jonah Savaiania, I get it. It's early in his career, just 5 games in. But how long do we keep saying, it's still early? At some point, potential has to turn into production. Right now, he's been nothing short of a liability. People want to compare him to Chop Robinson, saying, oh, Chop struggled early too. Sure, but even when Chop was learning, he was still impactful. Jonah hasn't shown that. He's been the worst graded offensive guard in football coming into Week 5, and somehow, this tape is going to look even worse. Cole Strange. After looking solid against the Jets, he completely fell apart today. Aaron Brewer? Struggling badly inside. This entire interior line was a disaster, top to bottom. Right now, the Dolphins have the worst guard play in the NFL, and that's not an exaggeration. And the crazy part? We actually thought this group would improve from last year. Remember Robert Jones and Liam Eichenberg? Yeah, they were laughably bad in 2023. But this new mix? Even worse. With James Daniels hurt, the combination of Jonah, Kean Smith, Cole Strange, or whoever lines up at right guard, it's been a complete mess. A rotating door of mediocrity. This offensive line isn't just bad, it's holding the entire team hostage. Until Miami fixes the trenches, nothing else matters. You can have speed, talent, and flashy play calling, but if your quarterback is running for his life every snap, you're going nowhere. It's honestly hard to come to terms with just how far this Miami Dolphins organization has fallen. This isn't just about one game. It's about years of bad decisions, poor team building, and wasted potential. Everything goes back to Chris Greer, who's been calling the shots since 2016. Think about that. Almost a decade in charge, and not one single playoff win. Not one real step forward as a franchise. Yeah, sure, the Dolphins made the playoffs in 2022 and 2023, but what has it led to? Nothing but another crash, another disappointment. This team keeps spinning in the same circle, pretending things are fine when they clearly aren't. And the worst part? It feels like we're stuck watching the same movie every season. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll still be here breaking it all down, game after game, because Dolphins fans deserve honesty. We'll be here when things fall apart, and we'll be here the day Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer finally get shown the door, because that day will come. So if you're still watching right now, you're a real one, a true fan. Flexed Biceps, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss any of our future breakdowns. We'll be covering every high, every low, and when the big changes finally happen, we'll celebrate together. Now, before we wrap this up, let's talk about one of the most embarrassing coaching moments I've ever seen. 4th and 18. 1 minute left. And Mike McDaniel punts the football. Punts. I don't care that you had 3 timeouts. Your defense had already allowed 239 rushing yards. You really thought they were going to stop anyone? Come on. And just like that, Jack Jones commits pass interference on 3rd and 5. Carolina moves the chains, and it's over. Game. Set. Embarrassment. This wasn't just a loss. It was a statement. A statement that this version of the Miami Dolphins isn't built to win. And until the people at the top finally change, this team will keep breaking our hearts. That was, without question, the most cowardly decision I have ever seen from an NFL head coach. 4th and 18, game on the line, and Mike McDaniel punts. I still can't wrap my head around it. I'm sorry, but if you honestly believe punting was the right call there, you're ignoring basic football logic. Let's break it down. Even if you don't convert on 4th and 18, you still have a shot to stop them, force a field goal, and get the ball back. But punting? You're waving the white flag. You're admitting defeat before the clock even hits 0. It was a cowardly, gutless, disgusting decision, and it says everything about where this team's mindset is right now. That one call alone should be enough to question whether McDaniel deserves to keep his job. You can't lead a locker room when you coach scared. And I mean this. That single moment defined the entire Dolphins season. All the wasted talent, all the talk, all the excuses, it came down to one decision that screamed no confidence. So here we are. Another loss. Another week of frustration. If you think Mike McDaniel should be fired, type me in the comments. Because at this point, there's no defending it anymore. But knowing how this organization works under Stephen Ross, I'm not holding my breath. He's proven time and time again that accountability isn't exactly a priority. Harsh words? Maybe. But every single one of them is deserved. Because until something changes at the top, nothing changes at all.